Food rations. Oh, the candy. It's a treat for the kids. It's all over. Have as many as you like. Better hurry though. The kids won't let it last long. He smiled a toothy grin. Come on, let's see the games. You can join in if you like. They're for everyone. Zedbit grabbed a few more food raw candy from the table before following Captain Richards. The image of the humans pulling flesh from the bones popped into his head. He shook it, trying to drive the thought out. As he was following, he saw that the rest of his crew had arrived and had started to mingle. The humans seemed to be careful, generous hosts. None of his men had the brown bottles with the ethanol beverage, just the red cups of the children. Good. He popped another candy in his mouth, savoring the intense richness. Richard started his tour at a group set a bit away from the rest. Zedbit could see why. A large trough filled with water and floating red orbish things was surrounded by laughing, sputtering small humans. They were kneeling beside the trough, clasping their hands behind them, taking turns immersing their heads. When one of them surged out with an orb caught in their mouth, everyone cheered. One of my favorite games as a kid. Bobbing for apples. You hold your hands behind your back and try to grab an apple only using your teeth. They tend to roll and float away, so it's pretty challenging. There's a couple of tricks, of course. My best one was to suck the apple onto your face, not bite, then force it to the bottom, then bite. No one has beaten my speed record yet. Humans can inhale underwater. Not at all. With another flash of teeth, he led him away. Zedbit popped another candy in his mouth as he thought about humans risking drowning for a party game. They walked right past a group of humans surrounding a container of ice. Zedbit was about to ask what was going on here when one of them stabbed his hand in and emerged with one of the brown bottles that he couldn't drink. With a sharp twist of his wrist, the top popped off and he took a long swig of the contents. Unbidden, the video of Rissert's head camera whipping around and his head being popped off, just like that bottle's lid, came to mind. Zedbit was feeling queasy. He popped another candy to settle his stomach and hurried after Captain Richards. Zedbit noticed several humans dropping used supplies in a container, which brought to mind that he had several wrappers and a cup that he didn't want to carry anymore. He redirected his path to the container, but as he tossed in his waist, he saw a gnawed bone from what Richards had called chicken. The little bits of flesh that clung to it looked exactly. Ship leader, we found something. He looked at the remains of the leg so the feed would give his ship leader a good look. The soft sounds of his partner retching in the background were picked up quite well. It looks like it has been eaten. Like Tummel's leg all those years ago. Zedbit's head swam. His stomach ached. His fluids felt like sludge inside him. All the noises seemed distant, hollow. He looked around at the sound of someone twisting the Rissert's head. Twisted and popped off, falling to the floor top off a bottle. Strong bone teeth pulling morsels of flesh off Telmel's leg. Cooked and chewed animal bones. Laughing, flashing those teeth biting, teeth chewing, Zedbit's brain couldn't handle it anymore and shut down. With a thin, hissing noise, the Creed ship leader collapsed to the floor, his head pointed in an awkward way, only a spasming jumping leg showing any indication he was even alive. Sakrop leaped over everyone to his side. Creed. Assist the ship leader. The whole crew of the collective harvest rushed to their leader, gathered him up, and started to carry him to the elevator. Captain Richards rushed back to help. Is there anything we can do? Do you know what happened? I will contact you when we know more, Captain Richards. That's all I can do. With that, Sakrop followed the remainder of his crew to await the return of the elevator car. At the start of the next day's cycle, Sekrup stopped in at the medical ward of the Collective Harvest to check on his ship leader. Chief Medic Miklet had good news. He'll be fine. The ethanol, large amounts of sucrose, combined with some horrible events from his last human encounter, led to a traumatic stress response. I have got him sedated until his system burns through it. Should take a day cycle or two at most. Excellent. I'll inform Captain Richards of your prognosis. I awoke to 3 messages from him. Until then, note in your log that I am assuming the ship leader's duties until he is fit. We will proceed with the cargo transfer as planned, then disembark. I want this station and its odd crew behind us as quickly as possible. May the Queen protect the next ship. Author's name and the link to original text is in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video.